Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial, and in this video I will be covering two types of tool, namely the alignment tool and the text tool. As the name suggests, the text tool helps you to align text for your posters, for your thesis project, or for the catalogs that you're designing. And the alignment tool mainly helps you to align your text according to the work that you're doing. So let's begin and create a new document. For this video, I will be using this A4 size document, which is 21 by 29.7 centimeters. I will be giving a name to my document, alignment, and text tool. So first, feel free to use any of these documents provided by Adobe Illustrator. You don't necessarily have to stick with this A4 size document. Or you can customize it even further by providing in your own values in the width and the height options right here. Alright. So before I begin with today's session, I like to inform you guys to make sure that the essential classic options has been switched on from this drop down box below. Then only you will be able to see all these tools on your screen. Alright. So let's start with the text tool. The text tool is right here, which has the letter T, and the shortcut key for this tool is the letter T. So I'll click on the type tool, and my cursor changes like this. So what it says, what we have to do right now is to make a text box by clicking and dragging the text box like that. Right. So if you let go, all these texts appear on our inside our box. We do not require these texts at all, right? I will delete these. So now we can easily type in our text inside this box, right? It can be a heading, let's say. So let's type it out by saying, hello, welcome to my artwork catalog, right? And But now my text is really small and it's a little difficult for me to read what's written there, right? So let's increase the font size by selecting our text, going over to the text size. By default, it's 12. Let's increase it even further and make it 48. And now it looks much better, right? So let's also change the font style. So right now it's on regular. We can make it italic, semi-bold, semi-bold italic, or bold, or however you want to choose from these options, right? I'll be sticking to semi-bold italic right there. Now, as I can see, there is some extra space left on my text box, right? So either you can add in more text here to make sure that the text box is filled, or you can decrease the text box by bringing it upward like that. And that's it. But now I want my text to be centrally aligned. So to do that, I'll first select my text, go over to the direct selection tool, and by default, it's left aligned. So let's make it centrally aligned by clicking on this align center option. And there you go. So automatically the text becomes centrally aligned. Now, similarly, if I want my text to be inside a box, we can do that by first creating a box and making sure there is no fill and my stroke color should be black as well, right? So I can just click on the swap right here, okay? So let's make a box. It can be a rectangle or it can be a square, however you want. I'll be sticking to this rectangle like that. So go over to the type tool right here and make our text box inside this square, like, and make our type box inside this rectangle like this. And we'll delete this extra text and type in our own text. Let's say my name is Rachel and I work as a waitress in a cafe. So now let's also further change the text. So instead of 48 size, let's make it to 36 or like that. I'll make this regular. Now let's also change the text, right? So by default, it's Myriad Pro. We can make it Calibri, Cambria. I think Cambria looks a lot better. That. So of course you can choose any of the text styles from here. So feel free to have a look at the text styles that Adobe Illustrator provides and choose any one from there. Okay. So it was Cambria. It. Sometimes what happens with certain text font types is that there will be no other options like this. Some texts will not have the bold or the italic options at all. So be a little careful with the fonts that you use, right? Let's make it bold. That's it. And also decrease the text box to like that. But now as I can see, my text is on the top hand side of my box, right? And I want to make my text to be in the middle of my rectangle like that. So it's really easy to do that. We'll first select a text and by clicking on shift, click a rectangle and we'll hover over to this align panel right here, which is right behind the Pathfinder panel. And we'll click on the vertically align center button right here. And there you go. Now the text automatically moves to the middle portion of my rectangle. So don't worry in case if your box moves slightly upwards. That tends to happen sometimes. So don't worry. We can select these two and bring our document back to its original place like that. So let's also change the color of the text. So instead of black, let's make it purple. There you go. So I would also like to show another trick that you can use with the text and the rectangle and with the shape tool, right? So for example, I make a rectangle. I'll switch this because I don't want any fill to be there inside my box, right? I'll make another rectangle like that. Go back to the type tool. Now, instead of making a type box inside my rectangle, I use the rectangle itself as a path for my text, right? So to do that, we take our mouse over to the outline of the box and just click on it. right? So automatically the text now takes the rectangle outline as a path to fit in all our text, right? So we can continue typing. Let's say I live in New York with my family and I take the subway to college every single day. So let me just edit this a little bit more and that's it. So as you can see, instead of the box being there, the text itself takes the path of the rectangle like that, right? Let's further edit this text. So instead of centrally aligned, I want it to be left aligned. That's it. So the earlier rectangle that we had made now acts like an invisible guide for our text. And we can also, if needed, decrease the size of my text box like that. And there you go. So it's that easy to use the type tool and the align tool. Now once my document is ready, let's also save it by going to the file option and clicking on save as. So by default, my document will be saved as an Adobe Illustrator file. I highly recommend that you first save a file in this format so that in case if we have to make any further changes to our original document, we can easily access it without actually having to make a new document each time, right? And then we just click on save. Now, apart from saving it from Adobe Illustrator file, we can also save it as a PDF. So if we click on this drop down box below, this Adobe PDF option comes right in. So we can save it in a PDF format and click on save, or save it in a JPEG format by going back to file, going to export and export as. So by default, my document will be saved in a JPEG format. And then we just click on export. And that's it. So as you can see, it's that easy to use the text tool and the alignment tool. And with a little practice, you will soon become even more familiar with these two tools and soon become a hang of it. On that note, thank you for watching and keep practicing.